The Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. And what's really cool about this passage is the word formed. In the Hebrew, the word formed is ya'ar. It's almost kind of like a stuttering pirate, like ya'ar, like kind of is the word here. But this word is important. I just came up with it now. This word is important because ya'ar means it's how a potter would work with his clay. He would ya'ar it. And here's what it means. It means he'd put it down in front of him, and he'd start to shape it a little bit. And as he's got it on his potter's wheel turning it, and his hands are getting dirty, he's skillfully shaping it into what he wants it to be. So he takes a little piece off there, he takes another piece off there. He's judging it, he's looking at it, but he's getting together exactly what he wants. And this is what is happening in Genesis 2, is God's pulling together the carbon, the oxygen, all these different atoms. He's pulling together the dust, and he brings it up, and he starts to fashion it, to form it, to make it. He starts to ya'ar it. And what you realize is that when God shaped the first human, Adam, and when he shaped every human since, you, me, he ya'ar'd us. He made us. He formed us the way he wanted to. And because of this, I'm learning that no human ever, I just started learning this, I just started realizing this. I've looked at this story hundreds of times in my life, and I've never caught this before. No human ever is an accident. We're not accidents. See, we have this way of thinking that, I'm here today because, even though I don't like to think about it, mom and dad had sex and, eventually I came along. That's how we think about how we got here. That's not true. That's part of the process, but ultimately what happened is God said, I want you to exist. I want Brody to exist. I want Emmy to exist. I want Charlie to exist. I want Caleb to exist. I want you to exist. I want to form you. Ultimately, none of us are accidents. If we're here tonight, if we're in one of these rooms, we're here because God chose to make us. No one else chose to make us. He chose to make us. We're not accidents. Peeing in your pants, that's an accident. You're not an accident. You absolutely are not an accident. And you can look to Genesis 2 for the proof of that. You're not an accident because God wanted you. He chose you. What this text says is he formed you. There is no such thing as an accident human. Every human is of infinite intrinsic worth. We're of so much intrinsic worth. There's so much worth to us because God made us, because he chose us. We're not accidents. Peeing in your pants, that's an accident. We're not accidents. And if he created you, and if he's the one that created us and he's the one that wants us, and it ultimately only matters what he thinks about this, and I'm learning, and I'm not absolutely perfect, but I'm learning not to care what others think. Because ultimately, if he made me, if he's the one that formed me, if he's the one that ya'ar'd me, then only his opinion should matter about me.